Hello. This is Team Grandma's Cookies. Um, our application for Comp 426 is the COVID Risk Assessor. Just a quick um, introduction for everybody. My name's Rachel. I worked front end and back end on this project.
I'm Jacob. I also worked on the front end and the back end.
My name is Julia, and I worked mainly on the front end and the design of the site.
And then lastly, I'm Ben. I built up the server side, data fetching, back end, and then built a few front end components.
So just to give a brief description of our application, what our COVID risk assessor aims to solve for a user is to give a user a user-friendly method of estimating the risk of a personalized event planned by the user through a quiz that they take, giving specifics about their location and the event itself. It aims to be a resource to stay educated and up to date on all things relating to the pandemic, and it acts as a visual explorer for COVID case data for the user to stay educated. Now, if Julia wants to walk through the functionality, do a live demo.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a little demo. All right, so this is our site, and this is our homepage, and you can create an account. So I'm going to do that. You enter your name and username and password. And then it will bring you to the account page, and we can go through that a little bit later. But first, we're going to go take a quiz. And so this is the main part of our site, and this quiz will basically tell you an estimated risk of an event that you may be going to, how likely it is that you may catch COVID. So you can use this to help you decide whether you want to continue going to that event or not. So let's say I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm going to an event with, let's say, 50 people, and I'll be there for 2 hours. It's held inside, and attendees will not be wearing masks. 0% of attendees will be wearing masks, and I will not be wearing a mask either. We'll be distancing 1 meter, and then it gives you a result, and this is a medium risk, so not recommended for users with underlying health conditions. So that's an example of one of the quizzes that the users might take. So then after that, we have an explore page, and this has a really cool visualization of the current state of the country and the cases and deaths in each state. So let's say we click on Montana. Down here we can see kind of the escalation of cases and deaths since March 12th until now. If you click on North Carolina, here we have it as well. So that's pretty cool. If we go over here, we've got a few things under the info tab. So we have the news page. Jacob, if you want to talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, so this news page will generate news based on the state you're located in, if you allow it to use your location. So since Julie is in Raleigh, it's going to give her North Carolina news. And we also includes national and global news. But if she were in, say, like Kansas or something, she would be getting news based on Kansas. And also, in the news section was probably the best place for us to put an autocomplete feature, but we really didn't think that would like fit what we wanted the website to be. We don't want users aren't coming to the website to search for news. We want to give them the news. That's why we didn't include that. But this just uses a basic news API, makes a couple calls, and lists out the news in these news cards designed by Julia with. And if you click on it, you'll go straight to the article, just like that.
Awesome. So next we have this page called Guidelines, which I designed, and it's information straight from the CDC website, the main guidelines that everyone should follow. So the site is not only a place for deciding whether or not to go to events or not, but it's also kind of a hub for people who want to stay up to date on information on COVID-19. Then we have an about page. Rachel, do you want to talk about this a bit?
Yeah, so this page essentially kind of tries to give you a sense of how we calculate your risk in the quiz. We took some information from Joshua Wise, an equation that he made that generated the risk of a few different events. And we used that as a base for our risk assessment. And we can go into the actual quiz in a little bit, but I'm sorry, into the actual risk equation in a little bit. But essentially this shows you where we got our information from and what variables are taken into account in this specific equation, such as whether social distancing is happening, the percentage of mask wearing, how long the event is, and cases in the area that your event is going to be had. So based on population and county-wise cases.
Next, we've got the account page. And so this page will give you a log of all your past quizzes that you've taken. So here, this is the quiz I just took a couple minutes ago. And if I click on it, you can look at it again if you want to. And then we've got my name, username. And then if you click edit details, you can update your account information. So let's say I wanted to change my name to Rachel. I can hit submit, and then now my name is changed. You can also delete the quiz if you hit this button. Now it's gone. And then the last thing we can do is log out. So you can log out and then log back in whenever you're ready to take another quiz. So that's pretty much it. I think I'll turn over to Ben to talk about how we did all this.
Thanks, Julia. So yeah, our app was built on a stack of classic Webpack, Babel, and React. We did this without any web framework. So no Gatsby, no Next.js, no create React app scripts. So we built it all up from scratch. So we use React, Webpack, and Babel for the front end, and then we used Express for the back end. So we serve it normally just as a standard React app, and then we set up some API endpoints under 3 different routes. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. So when you're logged in, as you can see, I'm logged in here. So when I go to the account, we do verification using JWT or JSON Web Token. So we have routes for the user endpoints, and all these routes are restricted based on whether or not your JWT validates. So you can see I can go to reflect JWT just to see the contents of my token there. So all these routes are locked. So this is what we use to do user operations, like deleting the user, getting the user details, changing, getting user quizzes, deleting, etc. And then we have API endpoints to deal with data. So you can go in and you can grab data, you can query latitude and longitude, which we needed for our risk calculation. And then we have authorization endpoints, which you hit with different post requests to get a cookie, to delete your authentication, or to get an authentication token, delete it, check whether or not you're logged in, and register an account, and then get a cookie. And all this is documented in our project. So basically, that's what we use to do authentication and backend stuff. And also we wrote a little data loader. Let me show that here. It's basically just a small data caching thing. And so we load it up with different keys. And then you can set an expiration time for the data. So that way, I wrote this so that we weren't hammering different APIs with a bunch of calls when those resources are probably being used by other websites who need to provide COVID information in a timely fashion. So we didn't want to load their servers too much. And then finally, with the Explore page, I think we loaded up some GeoJSON files and then loaded them with data sources that we combined from the New York Times data. New York Times data, and then FCC census APIs to create a GeoJSON file that we could send to the user and make the Explore app. So yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know what else there is to talk about. So yeah, if you want to check it out, we got the link down there so you can go through, look around, try it out, and have fun.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. That's the most important thing. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching.